Now, I know that the ad says the 25th, but it's coming out on the 23rd. So look, the synopsis of the film. A young woman who is engaged to be married has a chance meeting with the person who will be her soulmate. Or will he? And on the other side of the story, a young man who is a jazz musician has a chance encounter with a young lady at a record store in Harlem that he can see her being his wife. Or will she? That is the synopsis. That is the hashtag TFR Podcast Live synopsis of this film. So now, when you first open up, it is about the pacing of the film. You see, we're doing this with no script. We're getting ready to run through this. Smash the like button, smash the share button, share this. Make sure that you go over to, we're on the Derek Ellsbury page on Facebook, right? Yep. We're on the film review channel on YouTube. The Film Review Life channel on YouTube, right? And we're also on The Spot. Hashtag You Found The Spot page, channel on YouTube. Make sure you go there. So we are going without script because this film is so
beautiful.
good.
It's well done. It's a romance.
It is a romance. There is no Jim Crow. There is no oppression. There is upward mobility. You see the bourgeoisie in it, right? Or what they would call the boule. And you see a hierarchy, but the hierarchy does not matter when love comes into play. Would you agree with that?
Yep, I would agree with that. And what I love about the film is, like I said, it's a romance, it's a love story. It's about relationships, friendships, the relationship also between Sylvie and her cousin. We talked about that.
Now listen, when you want to see a relationship of what cousins should be like, you should watch this film. Sylvie's cousin is for her cousin from the very beginning of the film until the end of the film. She wants the best for her cousin. She roots for her cousin, and she is the character written that is the moral compass of her cousin. When her cousin seems to, go astray or not really know what's actually happening, her cousin is in the picture to give perspective, which is really her consciousness, which is Sylvie's consciousness.
Her cousin is played by Aja Naomi King. She plays Mona, and most of us know her from How to Get Away with Murder, Viola Davis's show.
And what Nat Turner story. She played his wife. She
sure did play Nat Turner's wife.
That's right.
She sure did. And what I love about her character is they're cousins, but they're more like sisters and best friends.
That's right.
And then it reminded me of my cousins that I'm close to. And like for instance, I was talking about music earlier, my cousin Monique sent me over Anthony Hamilton's new single, which is really nice. But me and her was on the phone last night for 3 hours. So it's just kind of like that type of, relationship. So watch seeing this film and seeing a relationship between her and her cousin Mona is just well written.
There is no envy or jealousy between this relationship. This is like when black people work together. So we'll put a pin right there. You have to watch this film for that. She should get an award for supporting actress just for that.
Should. Her acting is
right,
superb.
Now, Tessa Thompson.
Right.
This has to be the best acting job I have ever seen Tessa Thompson do.
Yeah.
I've never seen Tessa Thompson bring a character to life.
Yeah.
You know, she's been in multiple films, and the director,
a great actress.
The director during Eugene Ash during the Q&A said that she had been in multiple films, so she knows about blocking and she knows about bringing the character to life. But under his direction, and maybe it's the subject matter of this, she comes alive as an actor.
It's just like it was so like palpable. It's like she was Sylvie, that character. You know, I mean, it's just like all of the raw emotions and the emotions and the feelings and the love that she had with Robert, you know, and the love she had for her child, the relationship between her and her mom and dad, and again her cousin Mona. It's just the acting was superb, and there was like a lot of layers to her character, and then I talked about it. We talked about it earlier. It reminded me of like the character, meaning like in the way we were. So, you know, I love Barbra Streisand as an actress as well as a musician, but it's just like the same emotion that I felt when I first saw like The Way We Were, right? And in A Star Is Born, I felt that same emotion watching this film. You know, you just so invested in the character, right? And it's just like every emotion and feeling that character is going through, you're actually watching it and you can feel it. It just seems so real. And to me, I don't know. I wonder if this is Tessa Thompson's like one of her favorite characters, right? Because she seemed to really, really, really love playing this part. Like, this is the best work that I've seen her in, and we've seen her in a lot of really, really, really good projects. But this right here is...
But she emotes.
She did a great... She really does. Like, Oscar winning...
Yeah, it's Oscar winning.
Yeah.
You know, best actress type thing. Yeah. So that means that puts her up there with Viola Davis for the next film we're going to talk about in a second. But let's talk about now MD Asamoah, right? As an actor, coming from out of being a former football player, he's been a producer, a philanthropist, as well as in front of the screen now as an actor, right?
Right. Wow.
His work is incredible in this. The way, the chemistry that they have on screen.
Oh my
you have to tell people.
Seems so real.
You have to tell people to make this the #1 film.
Yes.
Right? This is a romance. This is we like to call it Afro-mance, because there's a lot that goes along with being in a romance, you know, because that's Roman, you know. But this is truly an Afro-mance on film. Again, there is no Jim Crow. There is no oppression.
It's just a beautiful told story about two human beings. And that's it. Well written. No stereotypes in the film.
No stereotypes in the film.
Just a well written
film.
Yeah.
And everyone is just who they are.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And when look at, I'm pausing to give you the imagery, because the cinematography and the choice of color palette in this, it's shot low key, which definitely brings out the richness in the color of, you know, black people's skin. But you know, I've been watching some of the Christmas holiday movies, and some of the high key is doing just as great, because we're high key right now, right? So look, the music in it, I mean, it is beautifully done, right?
Yeah.
The cinematography, the movement of the camera, the color palette, the set design, the choice of wardrobe, actually using undergarments from that time that are rigid, that would make you stand a certain way. All of this is incorporated.
Hair,
in the film. Hair and makeup, the outer clothing, actual vintage from that time.
And vintage vehicles.
Right. I mean, there's a beautiful situation that happens at the end of the film that kind of gives connote to her father, and you have to watch it close because this film is not only told with the dialogue, but it is told with imagery, and the imagery on this film, it was as Eugene Ash says, it was a lower budget film, but it does not look low budget.
No, it doesn't.
The sound quality, the use of the recording system when you're in a party and you hear the people and you hear the music and it's clear and crystal. In the use, they used us. Watch the credits, right? Because watch the credits because they use a certain type of camera to get this low-key grain. I love grain in film. In film that doesn't have grain, it's like you're using a DSLR and you don't really know how to use it because you don't know how to put grain in to make it look like film, so it looks all popping crystal clear. That's not how film is supposed to look. But anyway, that's just the perspective there. So look, cinematography, a 10.
Yes.
Set design, a 10. The wardrobe, a 10. Hair and makeup, going through generations. You meet these people when they're in their 20s and you move into middle age. That's a 10. The acting, the emoting of the actors, I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, because let me tell you, you can't tell me when the character Robert, when he walks and he sees the record store, we don't want to give anything away, you have to see it. But when he sees the record store and he sees the sign, the hiring sign, and when he first he looks through the window and he sees Sylvie, like all of the emoting in his face, it's as if in that very moment he fell in love.
And
his acting is great.
You see his reflection through the glass while seeing her. Beautiful cinematography.
Yes, and it's a beautiful film.
Beautiful film.
Beautiful film.
Right. The supporting actors. You see Coco again.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen her since Fame.
Not Irene Cara, but
from
Coco,
television.
From the television fame. Coco, you see her again. You know how black people do. We say the other acting names that they said. So Coco from Fame. You don't even know it's her, and you still won't know it's her because we're not going to tell you what scene she comes.
Oh no,
in.
no.
And then the dude from the Law Show.
Law and Order.
Law and Order, right? He's in it. You don't even know because they are acting their butts off. You don't know that it's them. No. So, what would you rate Sylvie's Love?
Definitely give it like a 10, like across the